Debate, we wanted to add some context here. We're digging into some of the claims made by the candidates.
Both were guilty of stretching the truth at several times during the debate. Our Matt Gregory is here to verify points made by both men. Matt, what'd you find?
Hey guys, there are lots of claims flying, right, as both candidates try to frame their position and their opposition's position. And this hour we take a look at some of these health care claims, starting with President Trump's claim that abortion in Democrat-run states.
That has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia.
Yeah, to get to the bottom of this one, we went to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as well as Dr. Sarah Prager, a professor of obstetrics and gynecology at the University of Washington. I want to be very clear about this. Killing a child after birth isn't abortion. It's considered infanticide, which is illegal in all 50 states. Now, experts also told the Associated Press it's not physically possible to perform an abortion if a woman has already gone into labor naturally. And Sarah Prager, that professor, said that patients who are laboring at term are never having an abortion. They are having a delivery. Now, abortions later in pregnancy are also rare. In 2021, approximately 93% of abortions in the U.S. occurred at or before 13 weeks gestation, while less than 1% occurred at 21 weeks or later. And that's according to the latest data available from the CDC. So this claim we can mark as false. Democrat-run states do not allow after-birth abortions. And while the former president made that claim, the current president pointed out his work in insulin cost reduction.
Situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for a insulin shot as opposed to $400.
Yeah, our sources for this are going to be the Inflation Reduction Act, as well as the Department of Health and Human Services report published in 2020. Now, the Inflation Reduction Act, which Biden signed into law in August of 2022, did cap insulin prices at $35 a month for seniors who have Medicare starting in 2023. Now, he mistakenly said $15 instead of $35. Later on, he corrects it, but that's not where he's wrong here. The president exaggerated how much money people paid for insulin shots before the law took effect. So he suggested, you heard him, that it cost people $400 per shot, but government data shows that's false. In a 2022 Department of Health and Human Services packet, they provided an estimate for out-of-pocket insulin costs, and it found that people enrolled in Medicare or private insurance paid an average of $452 per year for insulin in 2019, not per shot, as Biden claims. So we have to mark this one as misleading because, yes, he did bring down costs, but he exaggerated how expensive the average insulin cost was prior to that. We're going to have more coming up in an hour. Guys, back to you.
Great to have that context. Thank you, Matt.